If you get in the car and you want to put your friend on to Kendrick Lamar, who has never heard Kendrick Lamar, that's the first album you're putting on?
Nope.
Okay. That was solid.
What the hell has Kevin Durant done?
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a mid-album.
Draymond Trash Green.
I don't know where you got your stats.
You've got 1 minute to prove your point. 3 judges, 1 crown. Convince me.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a mid-album. Before we get started, Kendrick is a once in a generation, like one of those generational music talents. College professors do dissertations on him and have whole courses breaking down his music. So to compare him to somebody, say like Trippie Redd, would be crazy. So to compare somebody like a generational talent like Kendrick Lamar, you would need to compare him to somebody like himself. And by doing so, you will look and see units sold, which is a metric I can't break down right now within the time frame, but units sold, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was his lowest performing album. To date, and also first week. Despite going platinum, it also did not break Billboard top 10 within its year. Every single one of his other albums did. Every single one. So comparison to himself, Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was mid.
Okay, so it may not be your favorite K-Dot album, but it is far from mid. It was a personal album, and it was discussing his generational traumas and overall talking about toxic masculinity, accountability, growth, and generational traumas within the Black community, okay? And I don't know where you got your stats, but according to Billboard, he had the largest streaming week for a hip-hop album in 2022, and he beat out Adele within that first week, okay? He beat out Adele with 295,500 digital album units, and Adele had 205,000. And this album requires multiple listens because it's so layered. The whole point of art is to start conversations, reflect the times, and give perspective. He did just that, and that's far, far from mid. Okay?
My stats are actually from the Billboard website. Units sold for Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, 295 first week, 2 million today. Dan, triple platinum, sold 603,000 first week, 15 million today. To Pimp a Butterfly, 325,000 first week, and broke Spotify's one-day streaming record at over 9 million streams in one day. 4 million units sold to date. GNX, 320 first week, over 2 million sold to date, and that was last year. And Good Kid, Mad City, over 10 mil to date, triple platinum album.
Even if you're comparing Kendrick to himself, and you even said professors do total breakdowns and things on his lyrics and his albums, but they did the same thing with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Also, it has multiple layers, and professors have broken this album down multiple times. You can go to screenrant.com where there's professors speaking about this album and the importance of the lyrics and all the multiple entendres that he has.
You've heard their takes. Now the judges will deliberate and score each on clarity, facts, and persuasion. First up, Chaz.
I felt his arguments were very clear. I immediately understood where he was and what his take was on it. I'm providing a score of a 4.
There were quite a lot of figures and facts that were brought up. For Chaz, I would give you a 4.
Chaz, I would give you a 3. I think we could have had a little bit more confidence in what we were arguing.
Next up, Shanessa.
It took me a little bit longer to get around to the core of their argument, but still very solid overall, and I'm providing a score of a 3.
And then for the person debating that it was not a mid-album, I also give you a 4.
Snessa, I would give you a 4.
Because of the tied score, the judges must convince each other and decide a winner.
The judges took some time to deliberate, and while we thought both contestants provided pretty solid arguments, we concluded contestant Nessa ultimately had the strongest, most persuasive argument overall, and so we're giving this round to her.
The bracket must continue. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned as we crown a champion.
You can't compare him to somebody, just any other rapper. What are we going to compare him to? Mike Will?
Okay, but what are you saying? What are you saying that how that's relatable to the actual statement?
If you would rank where his music is, you're like, yo, this is the top of peak Kendrick Lamar, and this is his worst, like, not even his worst, but like, I don't want to listen to him.
But that's a you thing. But that's no. That's a you thing trying to say I don't want to listen to it, and you're saying it's not palatable to it's not.
If you get in the car
and you want to put your friend on to Kendrick Lamar, who has never heard Kendrick Lamar. That's the first album you're putting on?
Not at all.
That's not the statement. The statement is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is a mid album.
But
That
you
is
can't
far
say
from
mid
the
for
truth.
Kendrick is mid for anybody else. Who are we comparing this nigga to? Jim Jones?
That's not what the statement says, Chad.
You're overestimating people's understandability of music and how to break down metaphors.
Okay, but does that mean that that's a mid album just because other people are not understanding it?
Yes, if I give the best speech ever and nobody hears it, it doesn't matter what I said.
That's not true.